Okay, so you want to own a car wash. It sounds almost too simple to be a real business. Water, soap, a machine, a strip of concrete. Cars get dirty, and they will always get dirty. Rain, dust, road salt, pollen, brake dust, bird droppings. Every one of the roughly 280 million vehicles on American roads is getting quietly filthier every single day. There are about 60,000 car washes to clean them, sitting on corner lots in every town in the country. It sounds like a low-tech, small-time operation, a bucket and sponge business with a machine bolted on top. It is not. The car wash is one of the most quietly profitable businesses in America. And while the gas station across the street is keeping 3 to 7 cents on every gallon of fuel it sells, the car wash next door is earning margins that gas station owner can only dream about. By the end of this video, you will understand why private equity firms have spent billions of dollars quietly buying up car washes by the thousands. You will understand why the machine that actually washes your car is almost irrelevant to how the business makes its money. And you will understand what is running down the drain beneath it that can turn a routine permit into a six-figure problem. Let's start with what it costs to get in. There is no single car wash business. There are 4 of them, and they are wildly different. At the bottom is the self-service bay, the coin-op stall where the customer does the work with a wand. You can open one for somewhere between $200,000 and $500,000, mostly land and plumbing. Above that is the in-bay automatic, the single machine that rolls back and forth over a parked car, the kind bolted onto the side of a gas station. That runs $500,000 to over $1 million once you count the equipment and the building around it. Then there is the full-service wash, with staff who vacuum and hand dry, labor-heavy, slower, harder to scale. And then there is the machine that changed the entire industry, the Express Exterior Tunnel. The Express Tunnel is a conveyor. It pulls a car through a 100-foot corridor of soap, spinning cloth, and blowers while the driver sits inside, then spits it out clean in under 3 minutes. A good one washes 150 cars an hour, and it is not cheap. A modern express tunnel runs $3 to $7 million to open once you include land, site work, the tunnel equipment, the vacuum stalls, and the water reclaim system underground. The land alone, on the kind of high-traffic corner these businesses need, can run over $1 million by itself. So you have spent millions of dollars, and now you are selling something that costs you almost nothing to produce. This is where the car wash stops resembling the gas station and starts to pull away from it. When a gas station sells you a gallon of fuel, it bought that fuel from a supplier for almost exactly what it charges you. It is a pass-through. It keeps pennies. When a car wash sells you a wash, the water is nearly free, the electricity is a few cents, and the soap and chemicals cost somewhere between 20 cents and $1 per car. The customer pays $8, $10, $15. Premium washes charge 20 or more. Do the math on that. A product that costs under $1 to deliver, sold for 10. That is not a 2% margin business. On the wash itself, the gross margin can exceed 80%. So the car wash is a gold mine. Except it isn't. Not like this. Because the single wash, the customer who pulls in once, pays $10 and drives away, is the trap. That customer is unpredictable. They come when it's sunny and vanish when it rains. A wet month can cut your volume in half. A hailstorm can erase a week. The one-off customer is seasonal, weather-dependent, and impossible to forecast. And you have sunk millions into fixed costs. Land, equipment, loan payments, staff, utilities that run whether one car comes through or 1,000. And you are trying to cover all of it with a stream of revenue that dries up every time a cloud passes over. The retail wash is the commodity. Everyone who looks at this business thinks the goal is to wash as many individual cars as possible. That is the amateur's version of the business. Here is where the money actually is. The unlimited membership. Somewhere in the last 15 years, the car wash industry discovered the single most powerful idea in modern retail: the subscription. Instead of selling you one wash for $10, they sell you a monthly membership, $20, $30, $40, that lets you wash your car as many times as you want. Unlimited. And the model works, not despite the fact that people don't use it, but because of it. When someone signs up for an unlimited plan, they picture themselves washing the car every week, 4 or 5 washes a month. At $30, that feels like a steal. But that is not what happens. Life happens. They get busy. It rains. They forget the plan is even attached to their card. The average member washes far fewer times than they imagined, and they keep paying anyway, month after month, often long after they've stopped showing up at all. You have heard this model before. It is the gym membership. It is the business that makes the most money from the customers who don't come. Run the numbers from the operator's side of the counter. Say the plan is $30 a month and a single wash is $10. To justify the membership, that customer needs to come through 3 times a month, once every 10 days, forever, in every season. Plenty of people sign up swearing they will. Most settle into once or twice. Some drift to 0 and never quite get around to canceling. And every wash a member doesn't take is close to pure profit. Because the wash they skipped cost you nothing to not deliver. The subscription doesn't make its money when the customer shows up. It makes its money in the gap between what they pay for and what they actually use. And it transforms the entire operation. That unpredictable, weather-dependent, seasonal revenue becomes a flat, recurring, predictable number that lands in your account on the 1st of every month, whether it rains for 30 straight days or not. A strong express tunnel converts the majority of its revenue to memberships. Some sites run 60, 70% recurring. The rain stops mattering. The season stops mattering. The forecast stops mattering. You are not running a car wash. You are running a subscription business that happens to deliver its product through a tunnel of soap. The wash is just the thing you hand over in exchange for the number you actually care about. How many people are paying you every month to do something most of them won't get around to doing? This is why the express car wash became one of the most profitable retail formats in the country. A well-run express tunnel can produce operating margins of 30, 40, sometimes over 50%, numbers the gas station, grinding out its 1 to 2%, will never see. A single strong location can net its owner several $100,000 a year, and the best ones clear $1 million at the site level before debt. Per corner, per lot, that is more profit than the gas station beside it will ever produce. Which is exactly why the money showed up. Starting around 2020, billions of dollars of private equity poured into the car wash industry. Firms rolled up independent washes into national chains. Mr. Car Wash, Take 5, Quick Quack, Zips, Whistle Express. Chasing the same thing every time. Predictable, recurring subscription revenue attached to a product that costs $1 to make, sitting on valuable real estate. They paid enormous multiples for sites with strong membership bases. The corner car wash your town has had for 30 years may now be owned by an investment fund 3 states away. But now let's talk about what's going down the drain. Every car that rolls through that tunnel brings something with it. Road grime, yes, but also motor oil, grease, brake dust, heavy metals, and whatever detergent you just sprayed on to strip it all off. When the water sheets off the car and runs into the trench in the floor, it is no longer clean water. It is industrial wastewater, and you cannot legally send it where rainwater goes. Under the Clean Water Act and local pre-treatment rules, that water cannot drain into a storm sewer that empties into a river. It has to go into the sanitary sewer, and before it gets there, it has to pass through an oil-water separator buried under the site that catches the grease, the sludge, and the heavy metals, so the treatment plant never sees them. That separator has to be maintained and pumped. The sludge that collects at the bottom is a regulated waste. You need discharge permits. You get inspected. And if your separator fails, or your discharge runs over the limits, or an inspector traces contamination reaching a storm drain, the fines are not small, and the cleanup is yours. The water is the whole business, and the water is also the liability. The same thing that makes you your money going into the tunnel becomes a regulated hazard coming out of it. And then there is the machine itself. That 100-foot tunnel is hundreds of moving parts, running in a wet, chemical-soaked environment all day, every day. Cloth wears, conveyors seize, pumps burn out, reclaim systems clog. When the tunnel goes down, you are not just losing walk-in sales. You are charging a membership base for a service you cannot deliver, which is the fastest way to turn your best asset, all those recurring subscribers, into a wave of cancellations. So here is the question that decides whether you should buy one at all. What is the long-term threat? For the gas station, the answer was simple, and it was fatal. The electric car. Every EV on the road is a customer who will never buy gasoline again. But here is the part that makes the car wash quietly remarkable. The electric car does not threaten it at all. An EV gets just as dirty as anything else. It still collects road salt, pollen, and brake dust. If anything, the people buying clean, expensive electric cars tend to wash them more, not less.
The single force dismantling the gas station business does nothing to the car wash. In the great shift away from gasoline, the car wash simply keeps washing. There is even a second threat that turns out, on closer inspection, to be a gift. In the drought states, California, Arizona, Texas, water is politically radioactive, and you would expect the car wash, its water running all day, to be first against the wall when restrictions come. It usually isn't. A tunnel with a reclaim system recycles most of the water it uses. It can clean a car on 10 to 20 gallons, where a driver with a hose in the driveway burns through 80 or more. So when the bans come down, the professional wash is often the one place still legally allowed to wash a car at all. The thing that looks like your greatest vulnerability, all that water, is quietly one of your defenses. The real threat to the car wash is not demand, it is supply. All that private equity money did what a flood of money always does.
It built. Express tunnels went up on corner after corner, sometimes 3 or 4 within a few miles of each other, all selling the same $20 unlimited plan. In market after market, the industry overbuilt. And when too many washes chase the same drivers, the plans get discounted. The free month promotions start, and the beautiful recurring revenue that made the whole model work gets ground down by the wash across the street doing the exact same thing for $5 less. Subscription fatigue is real. People audit their bank statements. The plan they forgot about is the first thing to get canceled. There are around 60,000 car washes in the United States, generating roughly $15 billion a year, sitting on some of the most valuable small commercial lots in every American town. The margins on the wash are extraordinary. The recurring revenue is the envy of nearly every business on the street, including the gas station it so often sits beside.
The electric car that is slowly ending the fuel business will never touch it. And the money is real, realer per location than almost anything the gas station will ever produce. But the machine is expensive and unforgiving. The corner you need is expensive and crowded. The water that makes you your money becomes a regulated liability the moment it leaves the car. And the recurring revenue that private equity paid billions to acquire holds only as long as the customer forgets to cancel. The car wash makes more money than the gas station. That part is true. What nobody tells you is how much of that money is paid every single month by people who are never going to come. You decide.